Today we're gonna watch this video by Sora Time. 5 things I wish I knew before moving to Poland.
Before I moved to Poland, I thought it would be very easy because it's a European country, I'm from France, and quite similar for sure. But the truth is there are a couple of things that are quite different, quite surprising, and things that I wish I knew before. First of all, the language. I was like, bro, I speak 5, 6 languages. Polish is gonna be so easy, I can do it, I'm the language genius. I even managed to learn Mandarin Chinese. And then I arrive here and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be super fast, give me 6 months and I learn Polish.
That's so funny, because I was the same. Because I'm like him, right? I mean, I don't know how many other languages he speaks, but I also speak English, Mandarin, Spanish, and then a Chinese dialect, so Polish would be my 5th language. And I was super confident before coming. I knew the language was hard, but I am the kind of person where I know that it doesn't matter how hard something is. If I put my mind to it, I know I can make it happen. The whole entire first year I lived here, I barely learned the language. I looked at it, it was just very difficult. I didn't really make an effort. Now I've been learning for about a year, and it is a little discouraging in a lot of ways. There's a lot of problems with the language. So first off, certain words mean 2 different things in different contexts, right? So a word can end in an A, and that's just a plural version of like a masculine noun. But then if it ends in an A in a different context, it can mean something completely different. You really have to watch and read a lot of Polish to understand what this specific word means in that context. Yeah, there are kind of rules when they teach it to you in lessons. Polish also has a million exceptions too, so it's almost like the rules don't even count.
I'm here for 5 years and my Polish is still terrible. I don't know why, it doesn't enter my brain, like the connections are not connecting. And I know that I'm not alone. A lot of foreigners are struggling with this language. It's probably...
I will give him a lot of credit though. I've seen his videos. His accent and his Polish is fantastic. So you can tell that he's putting in a lot of effort. And I'm pretty sure his Polish is better than he thinks it is. Polish people are just like grammar Nazis when it comes to anything with language, right? The way that they talk to each other to see who has the best English, they constantly correct each other on the Polish too. So it makes a lot of people very self-conscious to want to practice. Poles feel very self-conscious about their English because they know the culture here when it comes to the language, so they want to speak it perfectly. My goal is no longer to be perfect in Polish or speak fluent, totally perfect Polish. For me, the goal is to be understood. And once you get over that hump, in the beginning, you're gonna sound like a 5-year-old. That's the only way that you can eventually get good at it. Like as a foreigner, they expect you to either know Polish fluently or know nothing at all. Because like in the beginning, when you talk to people, they see that you speak a little bit of Polish, they get super impressed. Once they start learning more about your situation, they're like, okay, how long have you been here? If you've been here like 2 or 3 years and above, and you still don't speak Polish, all of a sudden that niceness and gratitude goes away and they kind of expect more from you, as they should. I think that's totally fair. But then if you speak just a little bit of Polish and you're like a tourist, they kind of treat you like a baby. They're like super excited about it, but then that doesn't really help either, because as someone who's trying to get better, it's this intermediate phase in the middle that's kind of the tricky part.
Also, the grammar is so hard. You guys conjugate or declinate everything, even my name. Now, of course, after 5 years, I understand a lot, but speaking is war. And I tried so many things, language apps, taking classes, speaking to people. I'm getting there, but it's so slow. It's such a process.
Slow.
And this language is so hard, but it's so beautiful, but it's so hard. Also, why is it...
And also to learn Polish, I had to really reframe the way that I looked at it, right? What I noticed is that a lot of Latin people, like Italians and Latinos particularly, learn Polish quite well. And I think it's because you have to see Polish as a feeling language and a rhythm language instead of like a formulaic language. Spanish is a feeling language too, but it's formulaic in the sense where you can build the words. You know the conjugation, the sentence structure is pretty flat. Polish, a lot of the things, the way that sentences are structured or the way things are said is because it fulfills this like rhythm that makes the language easy to say. Cieszę się or nie spieszy mi się. Because there's a lot of consonants, without the rhythm aspect of it, it's easy for your tongue to kind of get lost in saying the words. Imagine you have a bunch of Legos in front of you. To speak Polish, every single word is like putting together a bunch of Lego blocks. So this word is going to be this case and this gender. And that's how every word gets built. You have to have a lot of Legos in order to build every single word. That is harder than a bunch of other languages. Once you accept that and you realize this long process, the journey becomes a lot easier. If you're like me, who learned Spanish very quickly, and then now I'm learning this and I expect the same results from this language as I did in Spanish, I don't think that's realistic.
So satisfying to swear in Polish. Przeklinać sadly sounds so good in Polish.
So what?
But I will do it, I will speak this language one day. Damy radę. Another thing, if you're planning to move to Poland now, Poland is not that cheap anymore. When I arrived here 5 years ago, I felt like a king because I come from France, I had euros, and the conversion between euro and zloty was so good, but now it's not that easy anymore. The cost of rent, health, etc., it's pretty high. And even groceries, it's harder and harder. It's getting higher and higher. Just don't make the mistake to treat Poland as a very cheap country where you can buy whatever you want for almost nothing. Next thing.
Yeah, that's what the impression that a lot of people, especially Americans, have of Poland or just like Eastern Europe in general. But Poland is a rich country now, and a lot of people are college educated, they have good jobs, and the economy is growing very quickly. It is kind of expensive to live here in Warsaw, but I kind of like it because I think as far as digital nomads are concerned, you can only live here if you make a certain dollar amount. There's like a money barrier for all the passport bros that are trying to go to like Colombia or the Philippines or Thailand, because those are cheaper countries. It also attracts like a lower quality of person.
You need to know is Polish people are very educated. I've heard from a couple of my younger friends that the school system is not the best, but to be honest, Polish people know a lot of things, especially with English. The English level here is so high. It's really not.
And I also think because the Polish language is so hard and everybody speaks English here, at least like the younger generation, 30 and below, it's very easy for them to learn other languages. So Polish people often speak 3 or more languages. Some common ones, they'll either learn German or French or Spanish or Korean or Japanese even. Like a lot of Polish people are interested in Asia, East Asian countries, so there's a lot of exchanges with that. Slavs in general are very, very intelligent. There's a huge focus on hard work and education here. And this is why I've said in my videos that when I'm like flirting with girls, a lot of time banter is very effective. Intelligent teasing back and forth, kind of like how British people talk. A lot of Polish girls respond well to that because they are very, very smart.
Guys, to be able to communicate so well in English, like most people will be able to at least say a couple of things in English.
I actually kind of disagree on this though. In the bigger cities like Krakow or Poznan or Wrocław or Warsaw, or even outside of the main areas, most people don't speak English. So you have to learn Polish to a certain extent.
Of course, the best thing to do if you're here for longer, learn some Polish, even a couple of words. It will be very appreciated, and you're in Poland, you have to learn Polish. Don't be this person who doesn't want to adapt to someone else's culture when they go to someone else's country.
I love his mentality and I 100% agree. And I would even take it a step further. If you're here for over 2 years, you gotta learn at least A2 Polish. You have to be able to communicate on a working level. And if you're here from 3 to 5 years or above, it's got to be B1. I don't think there's any excuse for not learning the language here. And the more time that I spend here, the more I'm like, how do you live life without speaking Polish? Like everywhere you go, most people don't speak English. And if you want to interact with the people like on the streets, I've had a lot of pleasant interactions on the tram or with old people, or they'll ask me a question. Being able to respond in Polish allows you to feel connected to this place. So I don't understand how people don't do that. I think it's just laziness, but.
Not underestimate little rules and traditions. Polish people are very attached to their habits, their traditions, their rules. And to be honest, it just makes the culture stronger and more beautiful. Remove your shoes before entering a house. Say dzień dobry and do widzenia when you enter or you leave a shop. Name day, imieniny, is important. Poland is mostly a Catholic country, so respect that. Respect the religion, respect the traditions, respect the culture. Before eating, smacznego. Before drinking, na zdrowie. Polish women are always right.
Totally disagree with that last one. But he lives in Poznan and the culture is very much like that. The women are very empowered, so that's pretty funny. I actually think coming in with that mentality is bad, but we can talk about that in a different video.
The weather. Yes, we have to talk about it. Especially this year, now it's 2025. The weather was not nice with us at all. Like this summer we had like 2 weeks of really good, hot, sunny weather. But most of the time it's cold, it's raining, it's dark, it's gray. And to be very honest, I think this is the worst part about Poland, and it's the only thing that is quite negative about Poland.
On top of the weather being bad, the building design has a lot to do with it, because in Warsaw it's developing very quickly, but there's not a lot of color and character in the buildings. It's just like a lot of gray, and then all the skyscrapers look the same, right? One of the things that I like about living here in Prague, it's not in the main city center, it's a little bit outside. The buildings here are colored. There's a lot more character in the neighborhoods and the buildings and just the overall variety of design and architecture. When it's kind of like dark and gloomy outside, at least you have some color in the buildings. It's okay up until around New Year's, and then January and February is hell. Then once March comes around, the weather gets better, it's okay again. I plan on going to Asia like every winter, so January, February. You go to Thailand for a week, it's crazy how much your mood improves after that. And then this next year I'm planning on going to China, so that's gonna be my next big trip. Stay tuned for that.
Next thing is, Poland is always nice to visit. Like there's so many different things in this country, so many different cities, countrysides, mountain, the sea, everything is there. It's the same for the seasons. Like in winter, it's snowy,
Yeah,
it's so beautiful.
Zakopane
you
is
can go
lit.
to the mountain, you can go to Zakopane, to Tatre, is like...
Also, they have a lot of like thermals here and hot springs and the saunas. I love the saunas. During the winter when it's cold out and there's an incredible view of the mountains and you're in this warm jacuzzi water, incredible, so great.
Insane. And in summer it's the same, you can go to the seaside or you can even enjoy like the beautiful countryside when it's hot. You can enjoy a nice barbecue with your friends, it's amazing. I really didn't expect Poland to be so rich, so dense, so beautiful. There's so many things in this country.
But what's funny is that I notice a lot of Polish people, especially if they come from the big cities, they don't really explore Poland that much. They prefer to just go to like Spain or Italy, because Polish people, they have enough money now, they can travel to other countries in Europe. I know a lot of people who are from Warsaw who have only been to like Gdańsk and maybe Krakow, but haven't seen Wrocław or Poznan or any of these other cities, because for them, plane tickets are so cheap, right? Like 50 euros and boom, you can go to Italy for the weekend. I recommend you guys watch this video next, and I will see you on the next one.